So today I'm going to introduce the scanner class, and the scanner is used to get input from the console or a command line wherever your Java program is running. And it's kind of fun because you can get data so that you can make your program interactive. It's used in high school a lot for Java classes in high school. I haven't seen it in industry really, but it's still kind of fun to play with. So let's go to File, let's go to New. Oops, I lost it. File, New, Java project. I'm going to call this my project 3. Project 03. You don't have to have the other projects in order to do this. I'm just doing this to make it organized for my YouTube videos. And then I'm going to use the Java Standard Edition 1.8. Everything else is, basically everything is default. All right, let's open this up and go to Source, right click, and let's create a new class. There we go. And we'll give it a package. I'm going to call it com.simtechgamedevelopment dot my, I'll call it scanner stuff, scan stuff. There we go, scan stuff. And I'm going to call the class name application. I often use the class name application for anything that has a main method. That way I know that that's where I can start my class, my program. And right here, I'm going to use the public static void main. I'm going to check that so that I can get a stub for free. That way I don't have to type this in. All right, let me get rid of my to-do statement because I'm going to add a scanner here. Scanner, and I'm going to call that input. And I will hit new because I need to make a new instance of a scanner. Scanner, and this is the constructor, and I'm going to pass in the system in. So this is an input stream that will be able to capture data that's in our console or in our command line. Now this is red, so I need to import it. I'm just going to go down here, hover over that, click, import scanner, and now I get the scanner from the Java util. So I have Java util scanner. All right, now I need to get something with the scanner, test it out. But first, let's send a message to our user saying, hey, enter a string. So I'm going to go sysout for shortcut, control, space. And now I get my system out print line. Say, enter a string and press enter. All right. And then what we'll do, make a variable of type string, so string str, input, next line. And that's how you get a string. Now let's print out what we got. Let's say sysout, control space, you entered, and concatenate that string with our input. Let's try it. Hit enter. We run, or you can right click here and hit run as Java application. All right. So it says enter a string and press enter. So you can see this little red button highlights when the program is running, and you can terminate it that way. So that's how you know it's waiting for input also. All right, but you see the blinking cursor. Now I just hit enter and I didn't get anything, so it said you entered that, and now my program has ceased to run. Let me just run it again because I didn't mean to do that. And what's it? Run Java application, enter a string, press enter, say this is my string. There you go, you entered, this is my string, program terminated. Alrighty, now this is highlighted and it says resource leak, input is never closed. So in Java resources, you want to close them. So just to make this program a little cleaner, let's go ahead and close it. And everything will run the same. Just make sure that you use your scanner stuff prior to closing it. So let's read an integer in. So I'll say sysout, enter an integer. And I'll make a int value equals input. And I'll have I have this next int right here. There we go. So we'll print that out. Whoops, sysout. The integer was, let's go ahead and concatenate our integer to our string. Run it. Save that. String, string, string. There you go. You entered string, string, string. Enter an integer. Notice that that pointer doesn't always line up. This cursor doesn't always line up where you want it. But if you go to type in, it fixes itself. So I put a 34 in for an integer, and the integer was 34. Now I want to show you one thing that you're going to have to watch out for, especially if you're doing AP Computer Science or something, and you have a project with this. If you do this next int, and then you try to get a string after that using this next line, the new line character in the next int, after you hit that enter, is going to be hanging out in your input stream, and it's going to mess up your next line. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move it down right here. So we switch the order. So we get the integer first, and then we're going to get the string second and see what happens. Let's save it. Right click on application, run Java application. So we can put our server in, or our integer in. Ah, look at that. And I entered nothing, and the program terminated. It did not wait for me to enter a string. And that was that new line that was still hanging out from the next int. And it works, you get the same effect with like next double, probably next, all the simpler ones like next Boolean, things like that. The way to fix that, just go ahead to an input, next line, and it'll consume that. Oh, I hate when it does the IntelliFix, the autocorrect. There you go. That will get rid of my next line. I didn't assign that to anything. I'm just going to hit save. I'll show you that it works. Integer 876. There you go. The integer was 876. Now you can enter a string. So string, string, string. There you go. You entered string, 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 and it terminated properly. So there you go. A little bit of scanner stuff. And in the next video, I will push on to new topics.